Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Gilbert. It's time for patron agenda items, and we have you on the agenda, so are you prepared to speak?
Yes, ma'am. Is everybody able to hear me?
Yes. You able to hear?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Before we get started, if I can really quick, there's a real problem with the live stream. I've missed a lot of the meeting, and you promised me that you were going to protect my rights and I would be able to watch and listen online. It was a lot of buffering, and I have missed entire people speaking. I'm not sure what's going on, but can you please look into it?
Sure. We'll look into it.
Okay. So, I went and looked at or watched the video, your special meeting where you talked about the contract where you ultimately are going to sign with the MSBA to find a new superintendent. Mr. Murphy, you brought up a question that I would ask that the district flesh out for the community. You mentioned the small town values of our community and how that our small town values needs to be part of the process of selecting a new superintendent. What does that look like exactly? You know my position on the books, and I contend those books are not small town values. How does the board define what a small town value is? You mentioned at the meeting that it was important. I would like to know what that looks like, and how does that go over into, your qualification for a new superintendent. Watching that movie, that meeting, the contract agreement is requiring you to provide a copy of not contract, you know what I mean, to provide a current copy of the contract for the superintendent to the MSBA. And I went to look at that contract, and under item 13, termination mutual agreement, it looks like you have the ability to negotiate a settlement with the superintendent for the full amount of the last year of his contract. Is he getting $178,000 that he is not going to work for the district? And what does that termination mutual agreement look like? Is he getting $178,000 to walk away from this mess, or what conditions is he being held to here? The proposal, that's the word I was looking for, the proposal allowed an opportunity for a community engagement meeting, and we have discussed the importance of community engagement. I don't know how many times. Why is it that you didn't take that opportunity to receive community engagement, to see what it is that not just the community would like? I think that you should hold one for the staff and hear from the staff to say what their concerns are and what they would like to see in a new superintendent. Why was there no community engagement meeting that was held? Who picked the questions for that survey that went out? There was a lot of things that I thought that should have been on there. One of those should be, how do we raise the grade level proficiency in our district? We sit squarely in the middle of the entire state. We're marginally above average. In 15 years, those test scores in reading alone have dropped 30 to 35%. I believe that new superintendents should have some type of a plan to get us back up there. I would like to see our district in the top 10% of the entire state, not marginally in the middle. What are the priorities for the superintendent? Is it a long-term goal to return to that point from 15 years ago when Mr. Robinson got here? Other concerns that I didn't see on there is stuff like the bullying that goes on continually in the schools. Does somebody have a plan to finally put an end to the nonstop bullying that's going on? How about the drugs in the school? The high school doesn't have a zero tolerance policy on drug use. What is an acceptable level of drug use inside the school? How many times can a kid smoke dope in the bathroom before it becomes an issue? I think that you've seen that video of that conversation that I had with school staff. They wanted to know how many times a kid uses before it becomes an issue. How would this new superintendent navigate the book issue? What would they do about the books that have secretly been removed? Is the school going to get sued over those books that have been secretly removed? And how do they handle some type of a lawsuit pertaining to those books being secretly removed? Would they
30 seconds left, Mr. Gilbert.
would they add those books back to the library? Or would we continue trying to come to the ACLU to sue the district? How many kids were harmed at Parkview that you referred to in November of 2024 in that press release? And what is the district going to do to protect them moving forward? Is there a plan? I've not heard anything from the district